Hi, this is Kirk Straightmatter, and I'm doing a short Logos video for folks relatively new to the program. I'm calling it Logos Getting Started, and it provides a brief review of the key terms, functionality, and observations that I personally have that are designed to get you off to a fast start. The next two slides are context slides that I developed to explain how people should view their path to Logos competency. This is my staircase chart that describes the different levels of application. Each step builds on the next as you progress in the use of functionality associated with Logos. It can be a very powerful and efficient tool when properly applied to your level of study and application. Starting with basic study, this chart shows a progression of capabilities. Most of us live kind of in the first three stairs, depending on how far you want to progress. And you can tailor into language study and advanced language study, but most of the time you're going to be spending your time with basic study, linked resources, and passage and theme study with using a number of the different resources and guides that are available. Fundamentals and starter packages allow you to get started, and they're perfectly functional for the basic and linked study capabilities that you might have. As you want to get into more advanced features, the bronze, the silver, the gold, the platinum, those other packages are going to be important depending on the level of depth and the amount of detail that you need or the resources required to kind of support what you're looking to do. So the key thing is to tailor your features and your resources to your preferred level of study. So how do you get started? People are often looking for an incremental study plan since the functionality can seem overwhelming when you first start looking at Logos. This is my cut at what are some of the key items related to basic functionality and essential things to know. As you start to get comfortable with those 14 areas in the two boxes on the left and in the middle, you're well on your way to an effective use of Logos. But you need to narrow your focus or you'll get swamped with details and get overwhelmed. Many of the items that come with cool features or additional functionality are just going to come along with time. Basic functionality is knowing where to find things, understanding the terms and icons, and prioritizing your resources. Essential things to know hit on my recommendation for items that get you grounded and help you become or provide a starting point for more advanced and efficient study. My recommendation is that part of this process include watching Mo Proctor's Quick Start video at least 3 times. It's really a helpful and progressive tool. You can eventually get to more and more cool features, but you really need to focus on some of the key things up front. And Mo does a good job of highlighting those items. I'll briefly touch on the library as a quick access point for your entire digital set of resources. Control-L or Command-L for the Mac will open this up in its own window. This is a starting point for prioritizing your resources and a necessary place to go to find out what you actually have in your library. I cannot emphasize enough the need to get grounded in terminology. That will be absolutely key to following along with any of the online training options that you might find helpful. It will also reinforce steps demonstrated by those that are teaching the tool. The instrument panel is one of the 2 key areas for understanding and navigating Logos. I will quickly highlight those areas and foot stomp a subset as you're getting started. This slide complemented with the next slide will get you grounded. Quickly going over the instrument panel, you have the home icon, the library icon, the factbook icon, the search panel, the Go box, docs, guides, tools, shortcuts bar, your layouts menu, your close all icon, and your panel menu. I'm going to reinforce these 4 items here: the factbook, Go box, shortcuts, and layouts menu. I'm tempted to put the search panel in this list as well because it is so powerful due to the index and capabilities of Logos. The bottom line is that you can access functionality from several different menus and icons. So starting with a subset of them, like the ones listed here, should make it somewhat manageable. Pick a couple of features and just play around with them. If you get stuck, go to support.logos.com or different video training options, or even the Logos Bible tips and tricks to get answers for items that you're not comfortable with or you need a little help. The resource panel is the other key to understand and navigate Logos. An open panel can include a resource, guide, tools, or other capabilities. It is the most important building block in using Logos. Most everything is displayed in a panel. And there's the panel right here. You can notice that 2 separate panels are open in my display. The one on the left has the Gospel of John open to the NASB Bible, and the one on the right has the Bible Knowledge Commentary. Notice the upper left hand navigation menu icon that I have right up here. You can toggle this on and off, and that will give you a sidebar menu that normally includes a table of contents or notes and details associated with that panel. Another display that may or may not be shown is the inline search. The grayed out magnifying glass shows that it's on. To clean up your panel so you don't want to see it, just toggle this icon and turn that inline search associated with that resource off. Finally, I'm highlighting the panel toolbar. This set of instructions, as well as the details in the instrument panel, are your two areas that are critical to navigating the tool. Here's an expanded picture of that toolbar. Notice the Bible has the most icons, because if you look at the Bible Knowledge Commentary over here, you'll only see a subset of those buttons. In the next slide, I will review each button. Please spend time getting familiar with this toolbar. It is the linchpin for using the power associated with different resources and features. Okay, here's the panel toolbar set of icons. I'll go through each one of them. The first is the navigation sidebar we talked about earlier. It opens the sidebar with tabs for the resources, normally the table of contents. The second is the location box. It displays your current location within that open resource in that panel. If it's a Bible, it'll display the verse. If it's a book, it might display the page, or if the commentary, it might display one or either. The third thing is the inline search button that I also talked about. It enables you to perform a basic Bible or more searches within a particular resource. The fourth is the visual filters button. It allows you to choose which visual filters are displayed. I kind of call it the look and feel capability associated with that particular panel. The fifth is the Factbook button. It got added in Logos 9, and it turns on a Factbook panel for additional study on a topic of your choice. The sixth is the interlinear button. It toggles the inline interlinear feature and or the interlinear ribbon that adds Hebrew or Greek text to the resource that you have open. For your interlinear Bibles, this feature is going to show the English alongside the Greek or Hebrew associated with that text. Number 7 is the multiple resource button, or multiple resources button. It allows you to open 2 or more resources in parallel and display them either horizontally or vertically. The parallel resource sets button allows you to choose which sets of parallel resources to use, and you can toggle through them with your arrow keys. Number 9 is the navigation arrows. It allows you to move backward or forward through the panel's history. It really is a powerful feature because if you're using Logos and you're jumping around to different resources, this allows you to go back and forth into an area you may have looked at previously. This is very similar to item number 10, which is the panel history button. Number 9 allows you to go back and forth one step at a time to where you were before, or have traveled through a different panel. Number 10 pulls down that menu and allows you to look at all the different places you've been to on that panel while you've been in that session. It really is a quick way, if you've bounced around to a number of different verses, to open up that icon and then look at a place you might want to go back to that might be your primary location that you've been doing your study. And finally, the panel menu button is available. It includes things like allowing you to set up link sets, giving you a print or export feature, allowing you to establish the number of columns or whether you want a scroll feature, page through different resources. Finally, the context menu is an access point to key capabilities and features. You need only to focus on a couple of the features at the start when you start using the context menu. So if you right click on an item, it'll open up this small box. If I blow it up a little bit, you can almost be overwhelmed by how many different features are available. You only need to focus on a couple of features at the start. When you click on an element on the left side of the menu, then the right side provides a set of options that may slightly change and adjust depending on the features that are available. I recommend you set aside time and just play with the context menu and see what's available as you click on different elements of it. I wanted to mention the Logos web app because it provides account access from any internet browser. And while it looks very similar to the desktop version, over time you'll realize that it is not nearly as functional or flexible as the desktop. Still, I use it daily to access my profile in resources when I don't have access to my computer. My final plug that was mentioned earlier is the Quick Start option with Morris Proctor. That is a tutorial available in everybody's library. I think it is an excellent tool that needs to be watched multiple times as a means to reinforce different elements of Logos. To wrap things up, here's my summary of getting started. The depth and diversity of Logos makes it an effective capability regardless of your teaching responsibilities. You can tailor it for individual purposes for basic study or dive into key capabilities all the way up to advanced language tools and features. To get a quick start, master basic functionality and essential elements. I provided my initial list, but even that changes over time. The third thing I'm surprised is when Foot stumped more. But the indexing features available in Logos, while super powerful, requires a solid-state drive in my opinion to quickly access your library and resources. I don't know another way to say it, but older computers will likely frustrate you as you're trying to use Logos to its full potential. The last two items are a caution to recognize that Logos will expose you to many biblical perspectives, so you should always understand the biblical or denominational perspective of the author. Finally, consider Logos as a tool and not a crutch. I made a dedicated attempt to build on my competence with Logos when I started seminary, along with my full-time job. While my studies don't include dedicated Greek or Hebrew classes, the language tools also allowed me to dive into the original languages in a way that I didn't think was possible. I've loved getting comfortable with Logos and having it help me in my own spiritual walk. I hope this video is helpful to get you started on making Logos a part of your own toolkit. Blessings.